So with Tyler Conklin, he was the 5th round pick, 157th overall. He is 6'3" at 254 pounds. He did run a 4.8, so he's kind of more athletic than Rudolph, I guess, at this point. But he is a former basketball player, and he has a pretty natural feel for just body positioning. He's a willing blocker, and he's actually pretty decent with his hand usage when it comes to run blocking. And he makes contested catches quite often, and he has a pretty good set of hands just in general. Like if you go back to 2016, he is making one-handed catches quite often. But he did suffer a foot fracture, and he didn't have that same kind of athletic ability last year that he did in 2016, and to me that could be a major issue. But, however, if he did manage to regain the 2016 form, he will be a very valuable move tight end. And it is possible because there are some injuries where it kind of takes a year for them to kind of come back on after they suffer a injury. And what this could potentially mean is Kyle Rudolph could be entering the final year of his contract. Well, not really. He could possibly get cut after this year. So this could be the final year that Kyle Rudolph is on the roster, as just because of the contract situation, though. As in 2019, he has a $7.675 million cap hit. No dead money. So it is a possibility that he is cut if, because of the Kirk Cousins money. And having a tandem between Tyler Conklin, if he works out, and David Morgan would actually be a much better financial thing as far as the Minnesota Vikings go. Now, I do think this guy does have starting potential. It's just a matter of can he get back to the 2016 form, and rarely when we ask these things, it doesn't always happen. And he is in the 5th round for a reason, so there is that. And so I'm going to give it a C+ on the actual grade of this pick, just because I don't know if he can regain that 2016 form. But he is a willing blocker. He's a pretty well-balanced tight end, and you can see the former basketball in him when he's adjusting to the passes. So he's not bad if healthy. And if we can get the 2016 version, he can be a potential starter for this team. And I'm going to group in the pick that they made 10 picks after at 167 in this video with Daniel Carlson, the kicker. Now, Carlson has a pretty good leg on him, as he has a long of 56 yards. Now, he does also have a career average of 80.7% on his field goals, as his best year was in 2016 at 87.5%. Now, it is concerning that this fell all the way down to about 75% last year, given to how kickers are all mental-based and all that stuff. But obviously, if he can get back to the 2016 form, much like Tyler Conklin, then it provides to be a very good pick for the Minnesota Vikings. Because now we have a cheap kicker who's good for multiple years. You don't have to keep giving out one-year contracts, essentially. And as much as I like Kai Forbath, Minnesota wouldn't have made this pick if they didn't think that Carlson would win the battle here at kicker. So there's no reason to pick him if they thought Forbath was just going to win it outright. So therefore, I believe this will be the Minnesota Vikings kicker for at least 2 years, I would imagine, or at least the 1 year. And so I'm going to give this a B+ because I have more confidence that he can bounce back than Tyler Conklin. And I think that, given the way kickers have kind of messed up our team lately, not so much last year, but extra points, Blair Walsh being Blair Walsh. We've had kicker issues the past few years, and I think it's about time that we selected a kicker. And I don't know. I feel like that was more than due. And so let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and I will bid you adieu.